Here are your lane assignments, the 10 women who will be closing things out for us here, and the battle for the overall lead will be right in the middle of the floor. That's Emma Carey and Danielle Brandon. They have already clinched spots at the games. Now it's a matter of who winds up on top of the podium here in Orlando.
Currently held by Emma Carey by just 3 points over Danielle Brandon, and we talked about not a sprint. This is a person who's not afraid to go out there, but Danielle Brandon, 3 points out, 1 spot away. The difference between the two.
Let's go down to Mike Arsenault with more on the woman who currently sits in 10th place, Caroline Stanley.
Well, here's an interesting wrinkle. 10 feet away from lane 10 where Caroline Stanley is. All of the athletes from heat number 5 are watching. So we have Annika Greer, who is on the bubble. We have Shelby Neal and also Carolyn Prevost. We're still not exactly sure where the places are going to shake out, but all of these women behind me are 10 feet away watching Caroline Stanley to see who will get that potential final spot for the CrossFit Games.
Stand by.
Here we go. 4:14.24 seconds. That's Brooke Wells' top time. The next best time belongs to Shelby Neal at 4:25.79. Just keep those numbers in the back of your head.
And it's just 1 or 2 spots, 1 or 2 athletes that can make a pacing error. And it doesn't have to be a minute lost. 5 seconds, 10 seconds. Could be 5 to 10 places.
Danielle Brandon and Emma Carey first to the toes to bar, along with Alexis Raptis. Emma Lawson is there. And now all 10 women have gotten off of the bike.
Question coming in, 20 toes to bar. All these athletes can do this once. All these athletes can do this twice. It's been a challenge to do this 3 times in a row that we've seen so far in 5 heats.
Well, Emma Carey and Danielle Brandon along with Alexis. Now Raptis has got to be careful. She just did the same thing. She rolled it on the line. Maybe it was not over, but that was close for Alexis Raptis. She did pick it up behind the line. Well, Carey and Brandon heading back. Raptis heading back. Paige Semenza sits in 4th. Emma Lawson in 5th. Paige Powers, Sydney Wells, and Caroline Stanley now towards the back here. Fisa Goffi finds herself in last place. Now, Fisa Goffi is not safe. If she finishes 23rd or better, she'll clinch, but
it's been a lot of good times so far.
I was going to say, we've had quite a few solid scores here that could affect that.
Danielle Brandon, Emma Carey. How often has this maybe happened over there in Naples, Florida? Going head-to-head in the affiliate. And now it's head-to-head who's going to take home the North American East semifinal win.
Well, Brandon's only 3 points back at Emma Carey for the overall lead. Carey has about a 1-rep lead on her at this point. Carey off first, Brandon right behind her. Looks like Raptis will be the next woman off the pull-up bar. Raptis is done. Oh, Carey's got the bag up, and she's opened up a little bit of a lead on Danielle Brandon. Here comes Alexis Raptis, and now Emma Lawson.
Brandon slipped with the bag on her first attempt to pick it up. Fisa Goffi's got to be careful.
Yeah, she does. She's falling towards the back here. She just took a look down the floor to see that she's in last place in this heat. That's trouble for Fee. There's Caroline Stanley, who sits in 9th place in this heat right now. Here are your standings. Annika Greer coming in that final qualifying spot with 323 points. Shelby Neal beat Greer in the prior heat. So things are getting interesting now as far as those final spots are concerned. A no rep to start for Emma Carey on the left. She and Brandon have been neck and neck here, and like you said, very good chance that this is not the first time they have done this test side by side.
No, it is not, but Emma Carey just came off the pull-up bar. Opening up the door for Danielle Brandon.
Quick rest. Brandon a rest as well. And now Carey's off. 4:14.24. That's the top time from Brooke Wells. Emma Carey's got a chance to track that down. And Emma Carey, welcome back to competition. She will take the test, and she will stand on top of the podium here in Orlando. Danielle Brandon is across. Now here come Alexis Raptis and Emma Lawson. Amanda Barnhart and Paige Powers have their bags held. Raptis and lost her across. Barnhart is in, and Paige Powers is in, and now we got to see how this affects Annika Greer. Here comes Caroline Stanley and Sydney Wells.
Huge for Stanley right there.
That's going to be 12th place in the event for Stanley. Now Paige Semenza is in, and that leaves Fee Sagafi still on the floor. Now Semenza finished 21st. Sagafi's the last woman out there on the floor. She needed a 23rd place finish or better to clinch.
That was coming in too.
She's got to get across the finish line.
Ooh.
She is in, and right now that's a 35th place.
But again, that was coming into the scoring prior to the first
That's a good point. That's
5
correct.
heats.
The top 6 women in this heat, the top 6 in the test, and Paige Powers will finish 8th. And that means that Brooke Wells will take 7th. I take that back. She'll take 3rd.
No, she's taking 3rd.
She takes 3rd.
Brooke Wells got 94 points. Shelby Neal may have gotten in. Brooke Wells, depending on what happened with Fee Sagafi,